Hello everyone, my name is Valentin. I'm the guy that Elias sent you that letter about. Some of you know me, some of you may not know me. I'm a retiree. I worked for the emergency service unit. I wound up going to the executive board of the union and exposing some criminal activity from Norman Seabrook. Basically, he was the president of the union prior to Elias Husamudeen. I'm sure you read the newspaper reports indicating that he committed fraud with $20 million of our money that we'll probably never see back again. I know myself as a retiree, I was $6,000 short in my annuity fund when I retired from the job, and every other retiree that had money in there was short as well. This video I'm making was inspired by Octaviano Perez from MDC. He posted a video today on Facebook with regards to how he felt about Elias and the situation and the union. It's pretty much one of the first officers I've seen that's active and still has time to go that actually has spoken out and put himself out there. I don't have the resources of the union. I can't pay for a fancy backdrop or anything like that, so I'm just going to use my backyard while I smoke my cigar for the evening, and I'm just going to have a discussion with you. So anyway, I'm the guy that warned you all about Norman Seabrook. Norman was very powerful at the time. He had a lot of influence, and a lot of people chose sides, basically. I ran against him. I was told by a court judge, a state court judge, that I could not run against him based upon the fact that I had a document that was signed by 26 delegates to allow me to run. The union coerced 3 of them to remove their signatures. The judge allowed it with some political influence, and I wasn't able to run against him. The day after the judge made that determination, Norman Seabrook was arrested on charges of fraud. The whole court process took years, but ultimately he was convicted, and several of his board members were culpable in the crime. However, they still retain positions on your board now. That was mostly due to membership not being interested or taking action. We're not a union, we're an association. An association is governed by its members. That's why no outside agency will come in and assist us. Pretty much the association is you. You have to show up. You have to bring people up on charges. You have to invoke what it is that you want to happen. If you don't do it, it's not going to happen. All right, COTAS. It seems to be a hot topic these days, and Elias certainly feels like he has to send letters out to your house about it. But he's not telling you the story. At the end of the day, COTAS is a group of officers, active and retired, just like you, that's come together to assist other correction officers with getting change in their union. All right, many people have tried before, hasn't happened because not enough people stood up. So COTAS went about it a different way, and it seems that it's working. The first thing that has to be changed to change your union is your bylaws. Your bylaws are holding you hostage right now. This Constitution and bylaws is turning a democracy into a dictatorship. All right? The union executive board runs the show, no one else. Although inside this book it says that the power of the membership, which is you, the power of the association, which is all of us, rests with the membership during a regular meeting of the association. Why do you think it's so difficult to have a meeting? We have 10,000 correction officers. Why does the union pick the worst times to have meetings and make it so difficult for you to show up? And when you do show up, they close the book quick, they take account fast, and they say, no, can't have a meeting this month, because now for the next 30 days, the power of the association rests with them. They don't want to share that. Most officers don't know that. So, changing the bylaws is very important. A proposed set of bylaws was written and introduced in the June meeting, for those of you who don't know. The June meeting happened at 4:00 p.m. and somewhere around 260 officers that were in favor of the bylaws change showed up. This book, Your Constitution and Bylaws, has a whole explanation of how to change them. The rules are in here, and we obeyed the rules and we followed them one step at a time. So what happened was, we have 10 active members that signed to introduce the bylaws change. Those members signed the document, said we want to change the bylaws, submitted it at that meeting, and then another active member stood up in front of everybody and read into the minutes the proposed changes, which is outlined here. That was the first step of getting the bylaws changed. It's a two-step process. First step is having 10 active members introduce it. The second step is, oh, by the way, in writing. It doesn't have to be a motion. We don't have to talk about it. All we have to do is sign it and submit it, which is what was done. Second step is to actually read it into the bylaws, which amazingly was done at that union meeting. So it was read into the bylaws and it was subscribed by 10. Next step is posting them up in every facility. That was a grueling task, but that was also done. COTAS assisted correction officers in doing it. Now, I want to make something clear, because Elias sent letters, or had his chief of staff, what is it called, the director of legal affairs, Mark Steyer. Basically, he's a lawyer that works for COBA and sits around the office. He's not really part of Kohler and Isaac, so he doesn't go over there. He just sits around the office, and when people need something drafted with a legal twang to it, he does it. So he wrote up this letter threatening all 10 people that signed the subscription for the bylaws change, just like COBA's famous for doing. It's like a playbook that they play out. Norman did it with me. He had people remove their signatures, and then I believe that COBA was hoping to do the same. So nobody removed their signatures from the document. But the document was sent out to all 10 of them, threatened to remove you from the union because it said that you were part of another union. Another document was written and sent to COTAS office saying that we were a secondary union and blah, blah, blah. I quoted a quote from the bylaws that said that that we're acting somehow in the interest of correction officers monetarily or something like that. I want to make something clear. COTAS is the same as any other fraternal organization in the Department of Corrections. It's a group of officers that has come together to assist other officers with change. Okay? Everybody talks about it, everybody complains about it, everybody's in the locker room, everybody's on the route bus, everybody's always saying how we need change and it sucks, but they're kind of waiting for someone to take the lead and do it. Well, COTAS are the people that have taken the lead to do it. They organize themselves, and they, like I said, like any other fraternal organization, they have meetings, they help officers write things, they help officers out, they organize things, they give you food and drink, they have different venues that they invite you to. They don't collect dues, they don't ask you for money in any way. They don't negotiate for correction officers. They don't represent correction officers at CD hearings or anything like that. So they're not another union. They don't even act as another union. But COBA has to tell you these things because they have to destroy. They have to destroy COTAS. And that's part of the reason why some of the members of COTAS are anonymous. You still haven't found out exactly who they are yet. Because already a couple of them have been retaliated against, transferred. Like I said, these 10 officers that signed the document were already subject of some sort of retaliation. So this is what they do, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you, I've warned you once before about this type of activity, and I'm here to warn you again. Okay, so now we're back to the bylaws. So the first part of the bylaws was done. The second part requires that you post it up in all facilities, which we've done. And then it's supposed to be voted upon at the next union meeting, which was September. Because we introduced it in June, July there's never a union meeting. September would be the next meeting. However, when Elias saw that there was over 130 or 140 members that showed up to the meeting, he realized that that vote was going to take place. And he probably got scared, and he allowed 130 or 150, however many were there, he allowed those people 2 minutes or 3 to sign the logbook. So, meeting starts at 9. They opened up the book, and they gave you 2 or 3 minutes to sign it. While officers were signing in, he looked at his watch, and he asked Benny to take a count of the people that were in the book currently. Benny's the sergeant at arms. He controls the logbook at the door. He did that, and I think it was like around 60 at the time. But there was a long line of people going out the front door of the place, waiting to sign in. What does he do? No, we don't have enough. It's time to go. Can't have a meeting. He declares that there is no meeting in September. Now, that's going to be important later. He takes the logbook from Benny, orders him to give it to him, and departs the room, walking past everybody on that line. People that got babysitters, people that braved the traffic, people that haven't slept yet, correction officers, us, your members. And walked past all of them, left with the book, declared that there was no meeting in September. Even Benny Basio, who's a board member, was dumbfounded. And when he was approached by other officers, as you'll see on some of the videos that are all over Facebook, he says, "That's not my call." Basically, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was him. So, Elias leaves the meeting location. People are pissed. They're irate. There's a little back and forth exchange. He just leaves his board members there to handle the business while he goes. There was only a couple of them anyway. So the officers were upset, and they went to the 21st Avenue COBA office. So they show up at the COBA office. They're outside the office. They want to speak to Elias. Elias comes around the corner. They approach him in a calm fashion, call him sir, and ask him a few questions. What does he do? Shoves him off, says how he's not going to answer the questions, walks into the COBA office and locks the door behind him. His own members, leaves him outside. So, he's showing you his true colors. He's showing you more than I ever could, or COTAS, or anybody else that's out there. He's showing you more than anybody can what he's really about and how he really cares about his membership. So he's sending you threatening letters in the mail because you're exercising your right within the bylaws to do it. It's your right to do this, but he doesn't want it because he knows he's going to be out soon. He sends threatening letters to COTAS, an organization that has been formed of correction officers to assist correction officers, calls them another union and threatens all of this nonsense. I've been doing this a long time, and even as a retiree, I look and I see what's happening in the department, and I'm disgusted. I've always said that I'm here to help any correction officer that comes forward and wants a change. And there is a group out there that's come forward and wants a change. Mind you, this group is merely helping you change these bylaws to a more fair version. A version that allows democracy back. A version that allows you to, forces the union to report to you. Allows transparency and accountability in the union. The other proposed bylaws wants one member from every fraternal organization to make up a board of trustees to assist the union with decisions moving forward. Making the election process fair. Right now, it's disgusting. You have to be a current delegate or board member. Board members are exempt from anything. If they run, they just get to run, and that's it. There's no criteria for them. Delegates have a criteria. You have to attend 10 consecutive meetings. Now, I don't know about you, but they don't really have a lot of meetings. They end them quick, like you just saw in September. So that's almost impossible. You have to have, I think, 25 other delegates. I think there's like 50 or 60 of them. You have to have half of them sign a document saying that you can run for a position. And if you're any good, they're going to say, don't vote for that guy. Don't give him your signature. So it's a catastrophe all the way around. Every single other set of bylaws before this one said, if you want to run against the union and you're a member and you're active, you can run. Get a slate together and run against the union. If the membership loves the union, they'll vote for them. If the membership can't stand the union and thinks they're doing a horrible job, they'll vote for you. Simple. You want to run against the President of the United States, get some money together, go out there and run. There is no you can't run, or it's nonsense. The union works for you, not the other way around. And it's high time that you take control of this. Our benefits are horrible. They've been the same since 1995. They don't want to change them. The reason why they're not getting changed, I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. It's already long. I've posted other videos about it. It's ridiculous. Your union is weak. No one listens to them. I mean, Elias just paid a whole lot of money to make himself look pretty on a radio station and say all these wonderful things, but look at the videos. Look at the things that he's done to his own members and tell me, is that a democracy? How come everybody that wants to run or make things better is targeted immediately? I don't get it. You deserve better. And this video, like I said, was inspired by Octaviano Perez from MDC. And I say, Elias Husamudeen, it's time for you to go.